All right, GMC Tweet of the Night comes to you from MLB, and they started with 12 down to the final 4. So the Yankees cashed their ticket to the division or the championship round by beating Cleveland today in Game 5. Home runs everywhere. Stanton and Judge for that one. They eliminate Cleveland, so it's Yankees, Astros, Phillies against San Diego. And already tonight we've seen Schwarber hit a moonshot. We've also seen Harper hit a home run, 2-0. The Phillies lead that game in Game 1. So we have a lot of interesting stuff there in baseball. I love baseball. My pick on this, just real quick, Andrew. I don't know if you're willing to partake in this one, but I like San Diego still to win that series, and I do like the Astros. Your take?
I like the home teams. There's been a lot of upsets in these playoffs so far, which I'm fine with. I like a Cinderella story like anybody else. But I'm going to go with San Diego. They're still looking for that first World Series. San Diego and the Houston Astros in the championship. For all the marbles. Yeah. Big Joe Musgrove gets to the World Series, and so does Josh Bell, Bob. Josh Bell still playing for the Padres.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there are a lot of guys still playing, and if you look at the Yankees still with Cole and Tyone and Holmes, they got a lot of people there too as well. Let's go to the phone lines, Andrew. We have our number one Cochran Go One Better call of the night. We're going to begin with him, and that's Bill in Scott Township. Hey, Bill, what's up?
Hi, Bill.
Hey, how you doing, Bob?
Good, thanks.
Good. Hi, Andrew. Hey, Bob, it's going to be Philadelphia and the Houston Astros in the World Series. And also, I think Pickett should be the quarterback. And when is T.J. Watt coming back?
Not until after the bye week, but it'll be interesting if they should somehow split and go 3-5. But if they somehow buck the odds here and go 2 wins on the road. And Miami's a team right now that I'm not so sure, and I don't know how crisp Tua is going to be this week. They've lost 3 in a row after winning 3 to start the season. So I'm not so sure what to make of that team right now with a new first-year coach. And then after that, Philadelphia, they're 6-0, but they're due for a loss. Andrew, your take.
Well, I think they've got an advantage in Flores because the defensive coordinator, not a lot of Steelers fans know this, the defensive coordinator in Miami was kept after Flores left. Mm-hmm. So he's still there. So he's essentially running Flores' old defense with the Dolphins. So despite what Mike Tomlin said today about trying to downplay having Flores on the staff and what kind of extra edge that gives them, I'm sorry. I think it gives them a huge advantage because not only does he know the personnel, Bob, but he hired the guy to coach the defense. So you'd think Miami's going to have to change all their defensive play calls for this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think Flores is an advantage. I know coaches like to downplay that, but why wouldn't you tap into that? This guy knows everything about their organization. He does still have the attachment to the defensive coordinator, so I think it's going to be a huge asset. Whether or not it results in anything, we will find out. I still think it's going to come down to whether or not the Steelers, and they're going to get a lot of guys back on defense, they game plan very well for Brady. I don't know how now we're back to mobile quarterbacks here. That's one thing with Brady you don't have to do necessarily. You have a guy sitting in the pocket, and that's about it. Tua, if we see what we saw from him in the game at Baltimore when he threw 6 touchdown passes, man, he was really good. And then the concussions took over. I don't know what to expect from him this week.
Well, you got to, for Tua, I mean, they've got to have a game plan, the Dolphins, that they're a little bit careful or concerned about because of the concussion issues. So they're going to be holding their breath on every play. And obviously, you don't do anything dirty. You don't do anything after the whistle. But, you really try to, I think, throw him off his game. There's got to be a psychological, I think, impediment for Tua where just so much has happened to him lately that I agree with you. I don't think it's a sure thing that he comes back and he's super comfortable and super confident. If you can get pressure up the middle again, like they did with Ogunjobi and Hayward last week against the Bucs, then I do think it could be a long afternoon for Tua and that Dolphins offense, even with all the weapons they have, Bob.
Yeah, and they have a lot of weapons. There's no question about that. We'll see.
Yes, they do.
The Steelers defense is going to be really tested here with down-the-field stuff with guys like Tyreek Hill and also Jalen Waddle. Let's go to Nunzio and
Bob,
Braddock.
what did you make? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Well, we'll go to Nunzio first. I want to get him on. What's up, Nunzio?
Hi, guys.
Hi, Nunzio.
How you doing tonight?
Hey, man.
Hi, guys. I want to talk about T.J. Watt. He got his pec injury, the first game? He's supposed to be out for 4 games. Mm-hmm. And then he had his, foot operated on?
No, it was a
Why
knee.
did
It
they
was
wait?
it was an arthroscopic
Why-
procedure, and he did it because he was out at the time. So it's a good time to do it if you're going to do it, I suppose. You could have asked
Yeah,
why
but
not earlier.
Why did they wait 4 weeks to do it? That's my question.
They didn't wait 4 weeks, but they didn't do it immediately.
No, and I don't know the reason for that. Do you, Andrew?
Well, I think it was something that was hampering him or bugging him since the preseason game when
Right.
the Detroit tight end went low on him. So I probably would have cleaned it up sooner when you had that time at your disposal. If he was going to avoid surgery on the pec, you might as well have a scope on his knee, and he did, but he just waited a few days too long, which maybe it does cost him the Eagles game in the end. Maybe that's an extra game you would have had Watt for, which, given how great he is, he could have been a difference maker there.
Yeah.
Bob, but I was going to ask you before we brought our good friend Nunzio on is, what do you make of Jeremy Fowler saying not only are the Packers interested in a wide receiver, which we kind of assumed they would be,
Right.
given losing Devontae Adams and the state of their offense right now, but he honestly thinks Chase Claypool is an option for them and somebody they're interested in. Would you trade him there?
No, I just wouldn't trade him at all. I think they need him. I think they need what they saw from him on Sunday. More of that. 7 targets, 7 catches, and they were good catches, tough catches that he made. We saw that in his first year. We did not see it last year. We did not see it for the first several parts of this season. Now, I think they need as many guys as they can. I still believe, Andrew, they're trying to get themselves in a position to get to the playoffs. And if they are, they can't afford, unless, now I will, use a caveat here and
What
say,
if they lose the next 2 games?
Unless they get something really good for it. If it's just a 4th round pick or a 5th round pick, I'm not doing it.
Well, what if it's a 3rd, and what if they lose the next 2 games and they're sitting there at 2-6, Bob?
I mean, again, it all plays out. But for now, you're asking me if I do it? No. The answer is no. And again,
Not even for a 3rd?
No, I wouldn't do it. I still like him. And I was bullish on him to start the season. And I thought he was going to maybe not live up to what he said about himself, but I thought he was going to be a much better player, and I still have hopes that he can, and we'll see. Because it'll make a big difference no matter who's a quarterback. And you need, if you lose him, all right, now you have George Pickens, that's fine, and you have Deontay Johnson. Yep. And then everyone's going to focus on probably Pickens. It's going to be tough for a rookie to make plays. And
so what happens to little Calvin Austin? He just never plays this year? It's a
what
lost
do we,
season
what do we
for
know
little
about Calvin Austin? I mean, we haven't even
well,
seen him.
I'd like to find out. I'm interested.
Well, a lot of
I'm
guys
intrigued
who've
with
come
his
through
speed.
here.
Maybe he's their Tyreek Hill.
Maybe so. Maybe not. I mean, we don't know. We've seen guys come through here before who were supposed to be really good contributors, and they fit. Whatever happened to Anthony McFarland? All these guys that you hear so much about. I would be wary to do it because I think Claypool has a high upside. I still do. We got to take a break, and we'll come back with more. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, Pittsburgh CW. Come right back after this.